There's a timeless saying, life is a journey. This concept holds true as individuals navigate a range of experiences, from significant achievements to challenging setbacks. Each moment presents a decision point, and every choice made influences the trajectory of one's life. Understanding this can enhance personal growth and awareness. That's why it's crucial to observe human life, to analyze individuals and the choices that led them to their current circumstances. So in this video, we're peeling back the layers and counting down the 8 most significant and timeless Stoic lessons that many men don't grasp until much later in life. As these aren't just abstract ideas floating in theory, they're real, grounded tools you can use to confront life's hardest battles. Whether it's mastering your emotions, adapting to change, understanding what success really means, or discovering true inner peace, every single lesson has something vital to offer. As each insight is powerful in its own right, but the last one? That one might just blindside you in the best way possible. It's something we all tend to overlook. A quiet truth that could shift your entire perspective once it clicks. So I encourage you, stick with us until the very end. Because if you're searching for clarity, growth, or just a shift in perspective, you're in the right place. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and don't miss out on this wild, enlightening ride we're about to take. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 8 of this saucy Stoicism countdown, Numero 8, happiness as a personal choice. Happiness isn't a state we stumble into, it's a decision, a quiet one we make with ourselves, often in the dark. Most of the joy you're searching for, it doesn't come from other people. It doesn't come from status. It doesn't even come from that dopamine rush of pleasure. It comes from within, from taking ownership of your emotions and realizing no one else can feel them for you. Now, don't get me wrong, pleasure has its place, but chasing every craving, especially the sexual ones, doesn't lead to lasting peace. It just keeps you thirsty, thinking the next fix will finally fill the void. Expecting someone else to make you happy? That's a heavy weight to put on love. It turns connection into dependence. And that's the trap that quietly poisons so many relationships. Even the apps and social media that promise to connect us, they often leave us comparing, envying, and doubting our own worth. But here's the truth. The real path to joy? It's not out there. It's in the quiet decision to own your inner world, to stop outsourcing your peace, and to come home to yourself. Coming in at number 7 of this saucy Stoicism countdown, Numero 7, everything is temporary. Nothing lasts forever, not the good times, and certainly not those pesky bad ones. Therefore, when life's good, soak it in. Grab a slice of cake and be a thankful mother trucker. Smile, let gratitude overflow, and let it tattoo itself deep within your consciousness. So when the storms roll in, as they always do, don't flinch, don't run, stand tall, be still, and face it with quiet courage. Even the most beautiful days eventually fade, but so do the darkest nights. There's a beautiful Japanese legend that says, if you feel like you're losing everything, remember, trees lose their leaves every year, yet they still stand tall and wait for better days to come. So when your emotions start to swell, or when your mind feels loud and foggy, pause, breathe, and hold your ground. You are not your storm. You're the sky holding the storm, capable of acting like a surfboard that's able to surf the waves of these hurricane tsunamis, moving forward with a sense of grace, elegance, and a grip load of gratitude. Coming in at number 6 of this saucy Stoicism countdown, Numero 6, life isn't always fair. Let's be real. Life deals us all different hands. Some people start the game with privilege, support, and safety. Others begin with struggle, silence, and storms. You can resent that, or you can own your response. Because while you might not control the hand you're dealt, you do control how you play it. And here's the thing, that life you secretly dream about, the one that feels just out of reach, it's often hiding behind the very discomfort you keep avoiding. Like that old saying goes, if you're chasing happiness, it might start with walking through what's uncomfortable. So instead of waiting, instead of spiraling in why me, let's move step by step, choice by choice. Because that willingness to move forward despite the unfairness is the birthplace of strength. It's not about pretending life is fair. It's about becoming so resilient, so clear, so grounded in purpose that even when life isn't fair, you are still free. Coming in at number 5 on this saucy Stoicism countdown, numero 5, taking the risk. Let's start with this. The biggest risk in life, sometimes it's not taking one. Look around, really. Most people who've done something meaningful didn't get there by standing still or waiting for a sign from the universe. They moved, they leapt, they acted, even while shaking. Because the truth is, anything that truly matters usually comes with a bit of fear on the front end. Let's make it real for a second. Say you're drawn to someone, magnetic, beautiful, intriguing, you feel that pull. But if you just admire them from a safe distance forever, nothing happens. No magic, no connection, no story. You have to risk the awkward moment, risk being seen, risk hearing no, because that risk is also the price of possibility. And this goes way beyond dating. It's leaving the job that drains your soul. It's speaking the truth no one else is willing to say. It's chasing a dream that makes no logical sense, but won't leave you alone. What if the path to your purpose has a toll booth called risk? Yeah, it's scary. You might stumble, you might fall, but staying stuck is its own kind of suffering. So here's the soul check. You can wait your whole life for the perfect moment, or you can take the risk and start living. Coming in at number 4 on this saucy Stoicism countdown, numero 4, staying present. Let's be honest, most of us time travel way too much. We dwell on the past, rewinding old memories like a broken mixtape, or we jump into the future, stressing over things that haven't even happened yet. Now look, some future thinking is helpful. It helps us plan, prepare, and dream. But if we're always living ahead of ourselves, we miss what's right here, right now. The past, it can bring comfort, but it's not a place we can live. And the future? It's a guide, but not a home. The only place life is actually happening is in this exact moment, this breath, this beat, this blink. And you know what helps us anchor into that present moment? Purpose. Not a perfect plan, not a 5-year goal, just a sense of why you're waking up each day. Without purpose, we drift, floating somewhere between what was and what might be. But with purpose, even the simplest moment becomes sacred. So if you're feeling lost, come back to the now, not to escape your past or outrun your future, but to remember that this moment is the only place your power lives. Coming in at number 3 on this saucy Stoicism countdown, numero 3, being aware of overthinking. Have you ever caught yourself spinning in circles inside your own head? One small moment, someone not saying goodbye at work, or a weird pause in a conversation, and suddenly your brain is writing entire novels about why you're not good enough. You start building stories out of silence. They must be mad at me. I probably messed up. I just knew this would happen. But want to know the truth? Most of the time, it's not that deep. Most of the time, they were distracted, they were tired, or they were in their own head too. Our mind, especially as we get older, loves to overthink. Why? Because overthinking feels productive. In reality, it's just a fancy way of avoiding action, and is just self-sabotage disguised as self-reflection. Therefore, next time the mental noise gets too loud, don't sit in it. Move, take action, send the message, go for the walk, start the project, or say the thing. Because action breaks up the spell and motion clears up the fog, and clarity only shows up after you start moving, not before. So with all that being said, overthinking is not a sign that something's wrong. It's a sign you've been still for too long. So stop building imaginary sandcastles in your head and go build something real with your hands, your words, and your heart, even one small step can bring you back to the present. And from there, anything's possible. Coming in at number 2 on this saucy Stoicism countdown, Número 2, choosing your work with intention. This is important because your job isn't just what you do, it becomes part of who you are. Picture this. Imagine someone who loves programming but ends up in civil engineering just to make others proud. In this scenario, no matter how hard the individual tries to fake it to make it as an engineer, the absence of true passion and genuine authenticity always will end up leaking through. And since time is too sacred to spend climbing the wrong ladder, so many people end up walking paths that were never truly theirs to begin with, and is often sparked by people's parents, teachers, or society. With that being said, here's the thing that most people don't talk about. When you're unfulfilled at work, that ache doesn't stay at the office. It follows you home. It changes the way you talk to your loved ones, and it dims the light in your eyes when you interact with others. That's why self-investment isn't selfish. It's essential, not just for your career, but for your peace, your relationships, and your purpose. Therefore, start saying yes to the work that pulls you forward, to the skills, projects, and passions that move you closer to your calling. Focusing on inspiration instead of the vibe of desperation. Since action without intention ends up being meaningless, while intention without action just ends up becoming impactless. Which is why it's important to choose your work with intention, as every small step you take toward the work you love is also a step toward the person you're meant to become. And finally, coming in at number 1 on this saucy Stoicism countdown, Número 1, your mind is either your ally or your enemy. This lesson might just be the most important of all, because how you think shapes how you live. Not in a fluffy, feel-good way, but in a very real, daily life is happening kind of way, because you're not just floating through life, you're building it, thought by thought, belief by belief. That means you're the architect of your inner world, and if that world is full of doubt, self-sabotage, or hopelessness, then even the best opportunities in the outer world will feel like they're out of reach. But here's the good news. Just like a garden, your mind can be cared for. You can pull out the weeds related to fear, procrastination, and negativity, and you can plant new seeds, discipline, self-respect, belief in something greater than your past mistakes. And that inner voice, the one that talks to you when no one else is around, make it kinder, make it wiser, and make it someone you'd want walking beside you through life. That's what successful people do, not because they never fail, but because when they do, they don't abandon themselves. They grow, they reflect, they stay curious, and they keep learning. So be vigilant. Don't let doubt camp out rent-free in your head, and don't let your own thoughts be the thing that holds you back. Instead, become the wise gardener of your inner world. Tend to it daily, and water it with clarity, self-trust, and patience. Life is a gift, messy, mysterious, and sacred. And if you start training your mind to see things that way early on, it changes everything, because the thoughts you plant today will bloom into the life you live tomorrow. And that's why this is number 1, because your mindset isn't just how you think, it's how you see the world. It shapes your peace, your pain, your path, and your entire life. And in conclusion, you are the architect of your own lived experiences. Others may have hurt you, life may have knocked you down, but the thoughts you choose to build with, those are yours, and they can either trap you or transform you. Let your mind become your fiercest supporter, your quiet inner coach, and inner compass whenever the crowd disappears. Because when you master your thoughts, you master your direction. Setbacks become lessons, delays become redirections, and even the darkness becomes compost for your future growth. Stay on guard against doubt and negativity, and water the seeds of belief, discipline, and resilience. Because in the end, your mind will either carry you toward greatness or quietly drag you back into fear. The choice is yours, so tend to your thoughts like someone who knows their soul is going somewhere meaningful. Feel free to leave a comment below, and don't forget to share this video with someone who needs it. Until next time, thanks again for watching. Stay up, stay blessed, and I'll catch you all on the flip side.